I know I know how I calculate it, right? So this is the way I do it. So my ID is 132-708-677, and I started July 2022, and I was doing this, and it's always pretty close. So every 33 million is about a year, right? So if an ID is say like 99 million, I know that it was created around July of 2021, right? So if I could pull up your account, right? But if I went and I pulled up your account based on your ID and compared to mine, I could get a rough guess about when you created your account. I don't know the exact trick. If you want to tell me the trick, that's easier. And yeah, I'm all ears. So you could tell me what your trick is. So like, for example, if I just pull up, say like Gigi here, right? So Gigi's ID is 13 million, right? So if I go to 99, that's 1 year. I go to 66, that's 2 years. 33, that's 3 years. And then this is about 3.5 years, right? So 2022 to 2021 is 1, 20 is 2, 19 is 3. And I would say, if I had to take a guess, you probably created an account somewhere around the beginning of 2019. So if I did like a let's say super young account, right? Well, no, that's kind of like cheating. So let's do like 70. Okay, if I do this ID, right? Accidentally add someone. So it's a 70 million ID. So if I had to guess how old I think this account is, they're in 1985, right? There's 33 million would be 99, right? So that's July 2021, and then this is a little under 33 million, so it would probably be about like August of 2020 when this account was created, right? So if you do August of 2020, so 365 days. Wait, what are we right now? April? Okay, so wow, it's almost 4 years. Okay, so 4 years. Minus 90. So like if I had to guess, this account is maybe like 1,370 days old. So let's go look at 1985, I guess. I might have did the math wrong on stream. You felt a little panic. 1985. Yeah, okay, 1,356. I was pretty close. So that's actually how I calculate it, right? But for me, the account ID really only matters for me is at first glance on the field, because I want to know if this person is older or younger than me, because I know kind of like my account progression and about where my account is at relative to my age. So if I know someone has a much older account, I know they had a much bigger head start, and if they're after me, I get a lot more confident when I see their ID. So that's why I actually calculated based off of like my ID age, which was July 2022. Now that's the way I do it. Do I think Attila will always be meta when it comes to zeroing people? I mean, I want to say always, right? Because some things could always change. But I made one of my the video I spent the most time, like the most brain power and most time ever making, was a video about how I think Savoons work, and a couple factors go into it. One, there is the difference between the amount of troops you have and the amount of troops that the enemy has. The bigger that difference is, the higher the Savoon percentage is, right? So whenever you deal damage to a troop, part of that is slightly wounded, right? It just disappears, and part of it goes to the hospital. It's Savoon. Okay. Now the Savoon percentage goes up when there's a big difference between the two troop types, right? But if you have 1 million troops and they have 10,000, even if you're taking a higher Savoon percentage, it doesn't really affect you, but it really affects the person with the troop, the march with the lower troops. The other thing that makes a huge difference is how many troops you have, right? So the higher the troops you have, and from what I can tell, it doesn't actually end, right? So if you have like 2 million troops in a rally, the sev wound percentage when you have 2 million troops is going to be very low, because if it was comparable to when you have 200,000 troops, people's hospitals would feel really, really quick. Beyond the deaths, hospitals will feel really quick. So I think that's why they made it really low. And as your troops get lower and lower, you also take a much higher sev wound percentage. So the way that Attila works is because he doesn't do big skill damage, right? It's just a bunch of white damage with boosted normal damage. He's getting a lot of hits in when the city is very, very low in troops. Okay, so he's actually at the end dealing a very high sev wound percentage. If Attila is fighting someone with really good marches, and he's not actually getting that big troop differential, he's actually not that good at zeroing people. So another way to think about it is Attila is only really good in a rally when you're fighting someone that is a lot weaker than you. If you're fighting someone about equal as you, Attila is not an effective rally at all. So if someone comes out that can rally, that does a lot of white damage, and his anti-swarm does counterattack damage, so you can't swarm it, and can get a lot of hits in when the whatever you're rallying is very low, as opposed to just a big skill damage and it's just over, then that's going to be very good for zeroing people and racking up the sev wounds.